Okay, news about the 22nd Amendment. Google 22nd Amendment news. Scroll down. Lawmakers slow to reintroduce presidential term limit repeal under Washington Examiner. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Like I just said, this was written July 8th, 2018. And here are the two guys here. Republicans Steny Hoyer and Jose Serrano. Members of Congress responsible for almost a dozen attempts to repeal the two-term limit on being president have not reintroduced their bills since President Trump took office. There's a reason for that. Two sitting lawmakers, Republicans, and I just read their names, introduced bills repeatedly to repeal the 22nd Amendment, but have not done so under Trump. Hoyer published 6 bills to repeal 22nd Amendment between 1995 and 2005, and Serrano led 5 attempts between 2005 and 2013. This being his last attempt, 4th of January 2013. That's the last time that this repeal of this 22nd Amendment, HJ Resolution 15, has been put forward to Congress. To Election Day. 6 years, 6 months, 6 days is the 10th of July 2019. Spokesman for Hoyer and Serrano ignored repeated requests for comment since May. Voicemails left on Hoyer's cell phone and on a phone line historically linked to Serrano were not returned Friday. It's unclear if their decision not to introduce the legislation is linked to Trump or is simply an assessment of the long odds of winning a 2/3 vote in each chamber of Congress, followed by ratification by 3/4 of states. Yeah. It's simply an assessment. Right, what did they say? It is unclear if their decision not to introduce the legislation is linked to Trump. No, it's linked to Obama. This is playing out for his story. Now, remember that this article was put forward on July 8th, 2018. The Washington Examiner. Let's read on. While I'm not a supporter of the current president, I feel that there are good public policy reasons for a repeal of this amendment. Yeah, I've been talking about that for a matter of months now. Hoyer said in a 2005 statement, 2005, this is how long this has been in the works. This goes back to 1947, folks. Under the Constitution, as altered by the 22nd Amendment, this must be President George W. Bush's last term, even if the American people should want him to continue in office. This is an undemocratic result, Hoyer said at the time. This was back in 2005, adding, sufficient power resides in the Congress and the judiciary to protect our country from tyranny. The 22nd Amendment was approved by Congress in 1947 and ratified by a sufficient number of states in 1951. That looks like this. I've covered this in previous videos. Ratified 1951, just like I read there on the Washington Examiner, Article 2018. Trump has joked about repealing the 22nd Amendment, including while humorously suggesting that he likes the idea of being president for life, a term used to describe Chinese President Xi Jinping, who recently consolidated power in the authoritarian country. Should we go back to 16 years? This is what Trump said in the Rose Garden. Congressman, can we have that extended? Trump said in April in 2018 at the White House. The last time I jokingly said that, the paper started crying. He's got despotic tendencies. No, I'm not looking to it unless you want to do it. Yeah, right. That's a coded message for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. Trump speaks in riddles lots of the time. Of course this is going to go down. Of course Trump knows that the 22nd Amendment is going to be repealed. It's going to happen in July of 2019. To the number of his name, Obama referenced it maybe in July, just a few in the last 2 weeks in Canada. That's the end of the article. Gold. These two guys are responsible for submitting this for decades, and it stopped in 2013 because it's part of the narrative to bring Obama back for his last 42 months in power. Thanks for listening.